Coming up on this episode of NPS Now, a groundbreaking for a new school in Broad Creek. High school students competed at the Model NATO Challenge, and community members got a chance to be a principal for a day. All that and more next on NPS Now. Hello and welcome to NPS Now, your source for news and information about Norfolk Public Schools. I'm your host, Karen Tanner. A second school groundbreaking within a month took place on a very cold morning in the Broad Creek community. The new state-of-the-art facility, which will replace Richard Bolin Elementary, will hold 700 students, grades pre-K through 5, and eventually feature an international baccalaureate program. After hearing from city and school officials, it was the students' turn to speak, and everyone together broke ground on the new school.
One of the most important things to educating our kids is excitement, is newness. And our kids, all they're talking about is this new building. We're going to make sure we're ready for our new building. And when they talk about we're ready, they're talking about we're going to pass our SOLs, we're going to be accredited, we're going to be kids that everybody wants to be a part of. So our goal is just to bring some excitement to this community.
With the Norfolk NATO Festival just around the corner, juniors and seniors from across Hampton Roads came together for the Model NATO Challenge at Old Dominion University. These student diplomats represented all 28 NATO nations. After working with members assigned to them from the country they represent, the students met and discussed solutions to a mock crisis that's presented to them at the challenge.
I think this is absolutely incredible. I've been a part of Model United Nations, but I think this is very different in a very positive way. Both have their benefits, but I think it's also incredible to work with a representative from the nation representing Slovakia. I think that's very interesting.
I love the process, although I felt like I have the weight of the United States on my shoulders. I love the process of discussing and eventually coming into a coalition to solve the current problem.
And they all said they want a sense of inclusion with all of their other fellow ambassadors and an international flavour, so they can learn a lot more, not just about the country they're represented, but also all of the other countries within NATO. And I think, personally, from a young person's perspective, that cannot be a bad thing.
They seem to have a grasp of the situation and given their own opinions, representing, each one of them represent a country, and they're kind of giving that country's opinion rather than their own opinion. So it's really a learning opportunity. I wish more people could get a chance to participate, even in the audience, just to take a look at that and see what our kids really do in the Norfolk Public Schools.
Congratulations to Granby High School's Susan Dooch for winning the 2015 Model NATO Challenge. Susan will receive $1,500 in scholarship money and an all-expense-paid trip to attend the International Student Leadership Conference in California. And congratulations also to Elise Schloff of Granby, who came in second place. Elise will receive a $1,000 scholarship. And thanks to the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, or MEAC, and the City of Norfolk, hundreds of NPS high school students got a glimpse of what higher education had to offer at the MEAC College Fair. The fair featured MEAC member universities and recruiting representatives of the armed forces, along with chances for students to submit applications. Prior to the fair, students heard from Superintendent Dr. Samuel King, Mayor Paul Frame, and MEAC Commissioner Dennis Thomas about the importance of higher education.
It's important because it allows us the opportunity to see what colleges offer, especially seniors who haven't really gotten to applying to have on-site admissions. So it really helps out.
A lot of jobs now are looking for that degree, whether it be associates or a bachelor's or a master's, and nowadays more kids are starting to find out that bachelor's just isn't enough. And so to come here, HBCUs give them an environment where we cater to you and your special needs. We give you the extra push, we give you the family feel, we give you the tools needed, not only for the classroom and the academic field of your major, but also in life. And so it's really important for kids to see that there are people here rooting for them and wanting them to come and succeed.
Ever wonder what it would be like to run a school? Well, some special guests recently got the chance to find out. Amanda Barada has the story.
Business leaders, city employees, and other community members recently experienced what it would be like to be principal for a day. The program, which is facilitated by the Norfolk Education Foundation, pairs these professionals with principals in all of our schools, which gives them the perspective of what it would be like to be in charge of a school.
It's opened my eyes. The conversation and communication has been great. The principal has been great. The teacher conversation, administration, they have been great as well, and they've been open and honest. So it's been a wealth of knowledge. And even though I'm on the Education Foundation Board for Norfolk Public Schools, but it's definitely opened my eyes. So I really appreciate the opportunity.
I think it's something that everybody should try and embrace. Again, that connection between the community and the business community, community leaders. We need to strengthen that for Norfolk Public Schools. I think there are a lot of resources out there, and we want to be part of helping making the school system better, and this is one good step towards that.
Not only did these community members see what principals do, they learned a lot about how students are being educated on a daily basis. Overall, these principals for a day recognize the benefit of seeing teaching and learning firsthand.
I have been able to experience all of the kids, what their accomplishments have been, what the school offers. I've been very impressed with the ESL and what they offer here. It's just given me an update on how schools have progressed and all the things they offer compared to when I was a kid.
I think it's a phenomenal idea. I think more business leaders should do this. So many of us in the business community rely on these children really having a way to gain all the skills that we're going to need when they enter the workforce and when they create their own businesses and their own jobs that are going to drive our economy. And so I would encourage anyone out there who's not in education to take a part of this, and I think the foundation did a phenomenal job of setting this program up today. I've had a ball.
The first of 4 citywide registration events designed to get 3- and 4-year-olds enrolled in pre-kindergarten took place at the Southside Aquatic Center. Well over 500 families showed up and were willing to wait in line just to get their children signed up for this great program.
I think part of the reason we've had such a great turnout is because parents want their children enrolled in pre-K. Our pre-K is a full-day program, as well as all of the media blitz that we've had. Parents were notified through the internet, through their schools, through EduLink. So we've worked really hard to try to promote the event, and also just word of mouth. Families have communicated to relatives about the enrollment and application process.
If you're interested in getting your child enrolled in pre-K, head over to the Park Place Multi-Service Center on Tuesday, April 21st, or go to the Academy for Discovery at Lakewood on Tuesday, April 28th. Both events are from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Congratulations to Norfolk Public Schools District-wide Teacher of the Year, Matthew Roadruck, who was named Teacher of the Year by the VFW Post 3160. He will be formally honored at a ceremony on April 16th. 2 teachers at Sherwood Forest Elementary, Kelly Alston and Diane Fairclough, combined their writing and musical talents in order to create a special Black History program. 5th graders spoke Miss Alston's inspiring words, while students from all grades performed music specifically chosen by Miss Fairclough. These students not only learned all about the work and commitment it takes to put on a production, they also learned quite a bit about their own history.
It just teaches them so much about life. It's just life skills, learning to work as a team, and they're learning so much about music education, learning to sing, learning to perform on a stage, learning to play instruments. So it's just real exciting for them to see them be able to perform on the stage.
Well, I think that they should know where they come from so that they can have more pride in themselves. A lot of people struggle for them to, or for all to have a better life, and I think that they should know so that they can take pride in that and try to be as wonderful and be the best person that they could possibly be.
Read Across America Day took place across Norfolk Elementary Schools on March 2nd. This special day, which celebrates both reading and the birthday of Dr. Seuss, gets administrators, school board members, and the mayor into schools to read to our students. Read Across America wasn't the only big reading event in our schools in March. Despite originally being snowed out, the Green Reader program still managed to kick off the event at Chesterfield Elementary. This month-long program, which is organized by Keep Norfolk Beautiful, brings in volunteers to read books to students in grades K through 3 that illustrate things they can do to be environmentally responsible.
I think it's extremely important because it gives us an opportunity to show everybody that we work together as a team, and there are some things that are important to us as a community. So when you have the lineup that we had today, where you have individuals from the Navy, the police department, the fire department, public works, it's a real team spirit, team effort.
If you have any great story ideas or events happening at your school, please be sure to contact us at npsnews@npsk12.com. More NPS Now after this. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to NPS Now. I'm Steve Sutmiller, Senior Coordinator of Athletics. Today we have Robbie Butler, Head Baseball Coach at Granby High School here, and Chase Anderson, Student Athlete, Baseball Player for the Granby Comets. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
All right. How you doing? I'm going to start with you, Coach. Talk a little bit about yourself. Tell us your background and how you got involved in coaching.
Funny enough, I played for Vince Zebro at Granby back in the 80s, and I got into coaching because of him. And I was doing my student teaching at Granby, and he asked me to help out, and I did. And since then, I've been coaching with him. I started at Granby, worked my way with him, followed him to Lake Taylor, got the head job at Booker T, and I've been at Granby now for 8 years.
Okay, and you've done a very nice job at both places. So, Chase, tell us about how you got involved in baseball and a little bit about yourself.
Well, my older brother started playing baseball. You know, he got into T-ball, playing Little League. You know, so ever since then, you know, I've always had someone to look up to and, you know, practice with, play with. So, you know, I've played Little League for a little bit, then moved up to travel baseball, traveling, you know, to tournaments, you know, in and out of state.
Okay.
And, you know, now I'm playing high school for Coach Butler here.
All right, so what position do you play for Granby?
I'm a pitcher and shortstop.
All right.
For Granby.
So out of those two positions, talk about number one, what's your favorite one? And then.
Well, my favorite position is definitely pitching. I feel like I have control of the game. I you know, have the ball in my hands every pitch. So I feel like I'm able to, you know, control more of the game than playing infield.
Okay. So you do well at both spots, pitching and middle infield. So obviously you like that control of being a pitcher. But as a middle infielder, how do you see yourself as a middle infielder?
It's a different experience, you know, different look. You kind of you know, set back, but as a shortstop, you know, you're still a leader of the infield.
Mm-hmm.
You still, you know, have a little bit of control. You know, I still talk to, you know, the other teammates, you know, the other infielders, and, you know, try to run things, give them confidence.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So a pitcher has to have a little bit different makeup. Mm-hmm. So tell us how you approach a game. What's the mental makeup for you as a pitcher?
Before the game, you have you know, a game plan. You know, for every team, whether it's, you know, you gotta throw inside, outside, you know, breaking balls. So, you know, you kind of have to have a mindset, you know, going in, what you have to do, you know, what pitches you have to throw, and you know, find their weaknesses.
Okay. All right, Coach, let's talk a little bit about Granby's baseball program. Very successful, year in and year out. Before you, they were successful, and I'm sure as a player, when you played at Granby, they were successful. So talk about building a program, this year-round program.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about what you guys do during the year prior to February.
Right. Well, we do summer ball. I let the boys go do their thing. I see them back in August when we start conditioning and lifting and things like that. Get ready for fall ball. Fall ball is a lot more relaxed in spring. We may practice a couple times, but we're getting out there, getting, you know, game experience. I get a chance to kind of see who's successful, who's not so successful. And coming out of fall, my goal is kind of have an idea of what my lineup's going to be, and then we get into our off-season program, which is huge for us. We spend a lot of time in the weight room, conditioning, and then we start throwing in January. Give my guys a couple months off, start throwing, and then next thing you know, spring's right there.
Right.
Something we implemented a few years back, so we can be not just competitive in Norfolk, but trying to keep up with Great Bridges and the Western branches.
Yeah, and that's critical, just the way the new scheduling is with the conferences. You are playing other teams, and you guys have definitely represented yourself and the city very well outside of the city. All right, Coach, you have an awesome baseball facility.
Thank you.
And so let's talk a little bit about that. How was this built? And then
basically one word: it's parents. Parents have done a great job. First of all, having to deal with me and all the fundraising that we do, but and Chase can attest to that. But the parents have done a great job going out, getting sponsors at our field. We have banners up. We have a side where people have given $200, and we have the larger banners. People have given more. Basically, I mean, it's them, and it's some of one of my assistant coaches, Tommy Lehman, kind of nudging me in the right direction and getting it done. We've had ideas what we wanted to do, and this year he kind of nudged me and said, "Man, let's get it done." And we went to work with a game plan of how we were going to fundraise, and the parents were a huge part of that.
Yeah, I mean, when I started with Norfolk Public Schools about 25 years ago, I think all the infields were dirt infields, skin infields. And then Lake Taylor was the first one to put that grass infield in with Townie Townsend.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, I helped lay that grass on a Saturday. But yeah, Norview, obviously Granby and Maury, all these facilities are top notch and really portray the love of baseball that all the coaches have, and you can see that passion there. So again, a very nice job with that.
Thank you.
So all right, Chase, let's get back to you. Let's talk about your future. What's in your future here for baseball?
I just signed with Norfolk State University.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm going to be pitching and have the chance to play middle infield for them too.
All right. So why did you choose Norfolk State, and did you have some other opportunities?
I chose Norfolk State because it's close to home. I have a big family, so being close to home was really important to me. You know, being able to see my younger brothers and still have an influence in their lives.
All right, very good. All right. Well, we definitely wish you great luck at Norfolk State, and we'll be watching you there. Coach, let's talk a little bit about the baseball in the city of Norfolk. It's up and coming. What's the future look like in baseball? And then let's talk a little bit about some of our local players that we can follow.
Well, I think, first of all, I think you've done a great job with the RBI, getting that going with the middle school program. I think that's a building block for us as high school coaches to get a chance. We're hosting a couple games this year, get a chance to see some of the talent. But I really think that Norfolk is becoming more competitive on a regional level. And you know, you said bring up some of the local ball players. Paul Hall is one of the first kids to come to mind. You know, he's a stud. You know, we just saw him Friday. I think he's a kid. He probably, you know, throws around mid-90s, going to Virginia Tech.
Right.
Another one's Matt Greco at Norview. Austin Holly at Lake Taylor, just to mention a few.
Okay. So we have some players out there that are representing their teams and doing some good things. What's the outlook for Granby High School this year?
We're a young team this year. I knew coming into it we were going to have our ups and downs. Hopefully after the big win Friday that maybe we've kind of turned the corner. Leaning on Chase and Spencer Matthews, our top two pitchers, two seniors. Pitching and defense, hopefully. You know, it's always been our biggest thing at Granby. We rely on and key hits. You know, going in our conference play, we opened up with Bayside a couple weeks ago. We beat them that week. Now, you know, the stretch run with Cox and FC and Tallwood, Ocean Lakes, Lansdowne, we're going to start that run. So we're hoping these young guys can mature and grow up quick, and hopefully, you know, having these guys on a bump will give us a chance.
Well, you definitely turned some heads last year going into that new conference, because the Beaches kind of thinks of themselves as, you know, that's where baseball was invented.
Right.
But Granby came in there and swept that conference,
yes,
and represented the region at the 6th level very well. So congratulations on that, and good job. Guys, want to thank you for being here. Good luck with the season. Good luck at Norfolk State next year. We're going to definitely be following you. So thank you. More NPS Now after this.
Welcome back to NPS Now. With me now today is Dr. Kirk T. Houston, Chair of the Norfolk School Board, and Ms. Courtney Doyle, Vice Chair. Welcome to NPS Now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great to have you here today.
Good to be here.
Norfolk Public Schools is going through a transition in leadership here. And what is going to be the message that you want to send to our parents, our students, our teachers, and our staff members? Dr. Houston.
Well, transitions in organizational leadership can always be somewhat difficult and cause a measure of angst and anxiety. But the key is to remain focused on the reason the organization exists. We have a clearly defined mission, vision, and priorities. And our message is simply to let's stay focused on our reason for existence, and that's educating our children. And we're going to continue our work towards accomplishing and realizing the great mission and vision we have for the children of Norfolk Public Schools.
And if I could add, these next 60 days are really incredible. These students have learned a lot since September, and this is their time to shine. So we have end-of-year testing, we have SOL testing, we have AP exams. We have an inordinate opportunity for these children to share with us all that they've learned. And so our focus is going to be on helping the principals and the teachers to remain focused on these children so that they can achieve to their greatest ability.
Well, let me ask you this, Ms. Doyle. What characteristics do you feel are important for Norfolk's next superintendent?
Well, by no means will this kind of list be exhaustive, or is it one in which we've discussed as a board. We still, as a board, need to discuss what characteristics we would like to see. And as a community, it's also very important that we get community input as to what characteristics. I'll name two actually this morning. One is academics. We need a superintendent who's very focused on strong academics in an urban setting where there's a need for school improvement and school turnaround, but likely as much for enrichment as well. What is it we can do to enhance our gifted program? What is it we can do to enhance all of the programs we have in our high schools as well? So academics is core. Budget is another. You know, there is no money tree in any division. And so Norfolk Public Schools is as challenged as any other division in making sure we maximize our financial resources so that the resources are getting to the students so that they can be the most successful. So we need someone who's going to be looking at our operational budget and our grant funding and any other sources of revenue that can help support the mission of Norfolk Public Schools.
And Dr. Houston, she mentioned the role of the community. How will they play in this process?
Well, let me just add a little bit to the characteristics and qualities of a new superintendent, and now I will come right back to that. Equally as important as those attributes that Mrs. Doyle mentioned, the attributes of a good team builder, and one who can really develop strong community partnerships and build coalitions and enhance parent and community engagement. You know, there are a lot of qualities and qualifications most districts and school boards would like to see in the superintendent, and rarely can you find all of them in one individual. And so a team builder is really important. A superintendent who brings a certain number of strengths, but is also able to build a high quality and highly competent team around him or her that brings those additional strengths and attributes that will make for a strong leadership team. And then there's no success without community partnerships and parent engagement. And so we'll also be looking for some experience and success in that area and the candidates' past experience. Certainly the community's voice is vital. You know, let's face it, the schools belong to the community. And so there will be a role for the community to play. And as we roll out our process, which we'll be doing over the next several weeks, we will be making more clear to the community exactly what role they will play and how we will engage the community. But that will certainly be an essential part of the process.
Yes, and the school board just recently appointed an acting superintendent, Dr. Michael Thornton.
Yes.
Why did you choose him to serve in this role, Dr. Houston?
Well, Dr. Thornton brings a great deal of experience in public education, having served in several districts around the state and well known in the state. And here in Norfolk, he came first to us as our Chief Financial Officer, and has done a fine job overseeing the finances of Norfolk Public Schools, and then most recently appointed to the Chief Operations Officer, where he's provided what I would consider stellar leadership in areas of transportation, school nutrition, facilities, maintenance, and of course overseeing the budget as well. And so he's a proven leader with a great deal of respect throughout the Commonwealth.
Right.
Yeah, I would also add that Dr. Thornton was born and raised here in Norfolk, so he is a Norfolk native. He went to Norfolk Public Schools early in his childhood. And to reiterate what Dr. Houston mentioned too, Dr. Thornton has been around the state. He has served in many divisions and districts in several capacities. So he understands the unique nature of education in the Commonwealth, which I think brings to bear inordinate experience as an acting superintendent. And frankly, we look forward to the next 60 days, ending a very strong school year under his effective leadership.
Right. And also, Dr. Houston, what has the board identified as the priorities for this time period?
Well, our priorities doesn't change. You know, the 7 priorities that we embraced as a board and district several years ago, they remain the same. And but for these next 60 days, the focus will be in 3 particular areas. Of course, that of academics, teaching and learning. Mrs. Doyle mentioned we're going into the testing season now, and it's important that our children are prepared, that our teachers are focused in helping them to the best of their ability to prepare and be successful for this year's SOL testing. Also, positive climate in our school buildings is really, really important. That our administrators, our teachers, our students are encouraged, that they feel safe and secure, and the support of the board. And so teaching and learning, positive, safe, and secure environment, and we have to complete this year's budget planning for the 15-16 year. We've submitted our budget to the council. Of course, the city council is now working to finalize their budget, and we have to oversee that to completion as well, which we anticipate, of course, in May or June. And so those are the 3 focus areas for now.
Yeah, Ms. Doyle, what do you think the board is going to do to support Dr. Thornton at this time and the division?
Well, as any board, we support the superintendent given our 3 roles, which is to set policy, establish the budget, and to employ the superintendent. So I would say the 2 big things that we're really focused on now is going to be putting forward a quality search for a new superintendent, and secondly, shepherding through the budget for this coming year. And we're excited to work with council on that in the next few months, and excited to then share the final budget figures, likely, I believe, early June, with the community, and then being very good fiscal stewards of that money moving forward. So regardless of Dr. Thornton, this is the role of the board, period. And we look forward to serving in this capacity with Dr. Thornton and any future superintendent as well.
Great, great. Well, Dr. Houston, what are some of the great things that Norfolk Public Schools has to look forward to right now?
Well, we have a lot of exciting things in our plans for the future, and 2 of which are construction of 4 new elementary schools, and one, of course, a K-8 school there at Campostella. We're really excited about these new state-of-the-art schools that our children will be able to learn and grow in the next few years. Those who've driven by Campostella recently can see that we're making a really, really good progress in the construction of that particular school, and we're looking forward to the Richard Bowling School and Larchmont and the Ocean View new schools. And then CTE, our Comprehensive Career and Technical Education High School plans are very much underway, and we took another important step as we been looking at the governance model, and so our community partners are working very diligently along with us to really see that exciting new initiative come to fruition.
And that's a public partner, public-private.
Yes, it's a public-private partnership with strong community partners. Our Greater Norfolk Corporation partners have been really strongly encouraging and I was, in some sense, empowering the process as they are reaching out to their partners in the community to help us with what we consider to be a game-changing initiative here in Norfolk Public Schools.
Great. Yeah, I would add 2 more things that I think are just very exciting for the division. One is the expansion of our pre-K program. We received a grant this year for $7 million for the next 4 years, frankly, and we will be able to equip and have 10 new additional pre-K classrooms starting this fall. And I know we've done some heavy recruiting for that, and we look forward to many more young children registering for those classes. And then secondly, we're going to be opening the Academy for Discovery Lakewood. So it's a new 3 to 8 school. Principal Tommy Schmigel will run that school, and he has done a great job so far in getting the word out to the community and getting all sorts of applicants and sending out letters. And so we're just thrilled that that school, as part of the transformation agenda, is coming online this year. So from pre-K to 3 to 8 to construction to CTE, you know, we're touching all sorts of populations within our division here.
Well, we have a lot of great things to look forward to here in Norfolk Public Schools.
We do.
Well, thank you both for coming on the show and sharing this great information with us.
My pleasure.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And we want to thank you for watching NPS Now. It airs weekly on WNPS, Channel 47, or you can view us online at www.npsk12.com. If you have any great story ideas or information you'd like to share, email us at npsnews@npsk12.com. Again, we want to thank you for watching NPS Now.